today. This is great. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Town Councilman Ron Charles. First of all, I'd like to thank the Rotary Club for hosting this event today. We started out, the end of 2019, the town board had a big decision to make. We either had to close the pool permanently or we had to invest in a complete renovation. Now this was a 44-year-old pool. The original pool was opened in 1975. So we started working with a couple of firms to try to figure out, what it was going to be, what we're going to do, which way we were going to go. I contacted someone who wants to remain anonymous, but I asked them about the possibility of donating to the project. They listened to a presentation and came back to us with a very substantial donation, and they were committed to making this project work. So from there, the town board committed to go with the renovation. We contacted Delaware Engineering out of Oneonta to do the design and create the bid specifications and oversee the overall project. After a bid, we ended up going with Aqua Concepts in Whitney Point, and they were the general contractor. Now, the onset of COVID presented quite a few challenges and delays to the project, but we were able to work through them. We really worked hard to get the pool open last year, but here we are. So we're happy to have it reopened. All right, there's a few individuals that I'd like to recognize because they're the ones that really made this project successful. First, we'd like to thank longtime Supervisor Lawrence Wilcox for committing to this project. Lawrence committed to this project for his last term of office. Another key person was longtime pool director Pat Moore. Pat had oversight of this project from the beginning to the end. He worked closely with Delaware Engineering and Aqua Concepts. He did an excellent job keeping the town board informed of the progress and the delays, and it was right there with the challenges and the decisions that had to be made. His input on the entire project was invaluable. Pat made a decision to retire from his teaching career, and along with that, he turned the reins over to our new pool director, Clayton Capoff. The town board has relied on Pat to keep the pool running for many years. Although we'll miss him, we have confidence that Clayton will do an excellent job with this new equipment that we've given him. Turns out we had an advantage by choosing Delaware Engineering. We got Big Red. Dan Fignani has worked for them for a long time. He was the project manager. His on-site presence and communication with the board was invaluable. He was personally committed to keeping this project on track. He attended many board meetings to keep us updated and spent a lot of extra time on site, working closely with Pat and the contractors. Now I'm going to turn this over to an Oxford resident who was very passionate about keeping the pool open. She stepped up and took over the fundraising right from the beginning. Because of her efforts and the generous donations from our community, this $500,000 project was completed without any additional property tax levy. Sarah Smith.
Thanks, everybody. We always make the joke I'm a teacher for my day job, and speaking to anyone over the age of 19 is like very nerve-wracking here. Any teachers out there understand that? I do want to thank my speech teacher out there. Where's Miss Woodford? Okay. Miss Woodford raised over $800 in her pie sales for this project. So I am going to read off my sheet though. So this project has required a lot of patience and flexibility, but just like the change of date for this, we're finally here. The end result is we have a beautiful pool and facility, so we can't complain about that. I began fundraising for this project in 2019, and I had a really great team. And then COVID happened, and the committee got a lot smaller. In fact, the majority of my fundraising was done behind a computer screen at my house. As impersonal as everything during COVID was, this project has proven to be personal to everybody in this community. And the Oxford members have shown by their enthusiasm and donations that they really think that this is important. There are two local foundations that made significant donations to this project, the Higley Foundation and the Maravido Foundation. It's important to mention that Ramona Maravido, also known as Estelle, was a teacher at Oxford for over 31 years. Fred and Estelle would be very happy and proud of the success of this project. Lastly, I'd like to thank the trustees of the Greater Oxford Community Fund, Marielle and David Emerson, Linda and Neil Bartle, Bonnie and Tom Emerson, who have proven that by making the investment in the Greater Oxford area, they are improving life for children and its residents. So thank you. At the beginning of this project, I set a goal of $50,000 for the community members. This amount was almost doubled by the generous donations from former members and current members of the community. I'd also like to recognize the donations from local organizations like Rotary, the Masonic Lodge, and the Lions Club. These groups always support Oxford. They always donate or volunteer their time when needed. Lastly, the local businesses of this community contributed almost $100,000 to this project. Okay, as a small business owner, that's a lot of money. Please thank these small businesses that help support this community by supporting them. When you get a moment, please take some time to view the donation board that's on the front of the building. And that'll tell you more about who donated, and it'll definitely recognize some large donors and donations made in memory of people who are no longer with us, but that their family felt it was really important to donate to this project. I'd like to thank Lawrence Wilcox and the Town of Oxford Board. Lawrence's dedication and belief that children need and deserve to learn how to swim is 100% why this facility is still around and now open. He's very modest and he will say it's not true, but it is. I'd also like to thank Pat Moore, former pool director. We would not be standing here without Pat Moore's help. He's going to be really mad at me for saying that, but if you see Pat, you need to thank him. He did an amazing job. Many of you remember your time growing up using this facility. I think that we can all agree that we needed this pool growing up, and our kids and the children of Oxford probably need it even more now. When people ask me why I wanted to be involved in this project, the answer is simple. I did it for my kids and the community, because quite simply, our community needs it and the members deserve it. Gene Curtis. Come on up, Gene. And family. Don't stab me. I don't know if this one. She's got it. Come on, Gene. Gene Curtis will be cutting the ribbon today for this ceremony. Her husband was the pool director for almost 30 years. I worked for John Curtis while I was a lifeguard. I actually didn't seek out employment here. He simply told me one day to show up, and I was now a lifeguard at the Oxford Pool. Then it took him 10 years to get rid of me, so there you go. Thank you to everyone who's contributed to the project, who's shown their unwavering support, and I hope everybody enjoys. So there you go.